down the inside.
What a move!
The Aston Martin driver is desperate to keep a hold of the position.
Oh, how has he managed that as well?
Wow.
Will he go on the inside? Oh, he tried it.
Oh, squidgy's
Ooh,
out.
big crash there. Turn 15, isn't it?
Oh, he's dropped. What a move for the SF.
Wow.
Charlie, world champion for the second time in a row.
Vidal is a four-time champion.
And Harvey is the F1XL Season 17 champion. Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to F1XL Season 24. Somehow we have managed an incredible feat getting it to that many seasons here. We have got 31 laps of the Marina Bay Street Circuit in Singapore. It is only me tonight, however, this is going to be 31 laps of pure agony, if anything is to go by, because it is raining out on track currently in the qualifying session. Obviously, we've got 18 minutes of qualifying here to begin with. Before the race gets underway, and some drivers I think opting for inters, some drivers opting for wets, and we are going to just head over to the track now. See it up on screen as we speak. So it is looking a little laggy, maybe out on track as things currently stand. It could be my end though. So I am just going to go quickly back onto an intermission, see if I can sort this lag out, and then we'll hopefully be underway. Right, take two in all of this. I'm hoping this is looking a little bit clearer now. Well, it definitely is on my side, which is always a plus point. But here we are underway, and let's see what Denflink can do as he is rounding at this present moment in time. Just down the bottom of 14. The track has changed slightly, I believe, since I've last done commentary in F1XL. So that sector 3 is significantly different to what it possibly was before. Ample a bit more speed, I think. It'll be interesting to see how everyone pans out. But here is the RB driver of Deathlink, who goes very wide, but sets the benchmark time of a 1:45.4. Let's see, I believe that could be Stracker. He's going to invalidate. He's invalidated his time. His teammate running no line for the first time this. Well, I say this year for the first time. So he is now fully no assists, I believe, as Mr. LS16 or Lightshock 16 as he heads down across the line. Finbig then goes quickest. Lightshock does go a little bit quicker than Deathlink as well. Forensic coming through here as well. And look how close Finbig and Swain are. Two of the PC drivers here at F1XL. Looking very, very solid at the moment. Ben Dyer throws it in there as well. 2 thousandths. Yeah, 2 thousandths of a second between the Ferrari and the McLaren driver there as Forensic rounds the final corner. What can he do as Phoenix throws himself up to P4 provisionally, and Forensic takes that one away. Harrison looking, well, ever quick is the man in the Red Bull. I don't think he's ever not been in a Red Bull for a long, long time, but he's whopping half a second quicker than Swain in second place. Who could be on a lap time? Game Man Steph looking generally very good through most of the seasons he's been in, and throws himself P2 for the time being. BXTN then coming round the hairpin at turn 13, which is tricky in the dry, let alone the wet. And a Kick Sauber car getting out of the way for him as he turns into 13. And that little kink now to the right, which is 15, and then a long straight right down into 16. None of the grandstand complex any more under the bridge, or bridges I should say, through there. It's all nice and straight now, which is nice for him, and down into the final two corners. What can the BXTN second driver do? It's P6 for the time being with a 1:44.2, so quicker than Forensic and some of the other intermediate runners, but not Harrison or Game Man Steph for the time being. BRT Godwin should be on a lap time, if not him, be Jellyman Tim, and that looks very, very sideways there for BRT Godwin as he, I think it was turn number 9 there that went a little bit skew with. Ben Dyer throws himself up into P1 provisionally with 11 minutes of the session remaining, which is quite a decent lap time there for the Ferrari driver to start the session off with. Obviously not being told if there is any further development on the rain, whether it's going to get lighter, dark, heavier. None of the drivers yet to have messaged me in this one, but it is an interesting one as the Mercedes heads down into turn number 16, into 17 as well, as Game Man Steph goes quickest of all. Phoenix throws himself P4 for the time being. Swain only wanted to manage one lap time on those wet tyres, and across the line for BRT Godwin, and second place for BRT Godwin for provisional lap time. And Jellyman Tim in the Williams Duracell sponsored Williams car as he heads on through turn 14. Hopefully it's going to be a good lap time for the Williams driver. Williams are the reserve team for the season, along with Haas, I believe. We do have two Williams drivers, that's Asperfrog and Jellyman, so no Haas drivers here tonight. Again, looking very nose front heavy there for Jellyman Tim, and was actually on an outlap, so all that commentary for nothing, unfortunately, but let's see what he can do. I wonder if actually any of the other drivers are. I know Felix had been setting a few lap times in and out as he's red-lined his Ferrari into the pits as well, so is that Master Swain a little bit further on down the track? Who is the... Oh no, we do have a Haas, and that is Kimmy, so apologies there. See what the Haas driver can do. Is he popping into the pit lane? He is, so it's a Red Bull next. Would that be Harrison? No, that would not be Harrison. Might not be Red Bull. Who's now dark blue? Is it the RB of Deathlink? It is a Ferrari getting out of his way, which is likely to be Gamerman Steph, as I'm pretty sure we saw Ben Dyer enter the pit lane a little moment ago, and we'll probably see Gamerman Steph throw himself in as well. But 14th is not where Deathlink wants to be right now. He wants to be a little bit higher up, a back end snapping out again, which isn't ideal for the the RB driver, the Red Bull Junior team, the Visa Cash App, the Visa V-Carb, I don't know what you want to call it. We'll go with RB for the time being as he's ploughing his way through now through turns 5 Usually the DRS would open up at this when it's dry. It's not dry, it's persisting it down with rain at the moment, and there is a mix of intermediate and wet tyres on drivers' cars. So it is going to be an interesting one to see why they're doing this, as Jellyman Tim throws his Williams at pole position for the time being on a set of intermediate tyres. That's a very, very solid lap time for him. Let's have a keep an eye on what Deathlink can do, because he's now down to 16th place. This isn't ideal for him. He'll want to be able to support his teammate Swain, maybe a little bit higher up as well. Maybe throwing himself into that top 10 position. He is currently 4 seconds off the pace, which is not ideal, but he did send his lap time much, much earlier into qualifying that Jellyman Tim has just done. He's purple in Sector 2, and whether that glitch is still a thing here in the F1 games is yet to be determined, I think is the best way to describe that. But into turn 16 he goes. A quick one to the left for 17, and then only 18 and 19 to go. What can Deathlink do? SRC Deathlink, I should say now, but the back end does wobble out a little bit, but it's P4 provisionally, a 1:42.6. He's 1.2 seconds off the pace, but he's thrown himself into the top 5 provisionally. His teammate is on an outlap, I believe, so we won't go on board with him. Finbig, are you on a lap time? He is 1.2 seconds quicker than his previous lap time, so it's looking relatively quick in the first sector for the McLaren driver, sporting a purple helmet for this this weekend, and heading on down into turns number 14. It's 3.6 seconds quicker at this interval. The McLaren driver has got a lot of work to do, but he's doing good at the moment. Yeah, Game Man Steph, Liam Hammond are Jellyman Tim, Game Man Steph and Liam Hammond, sorry, are the top 3. It is interesting that there is still that disparity between Inters and Wets runners, and there goes Harrison, a 1:39.7. I am wondering if that is the benchmark now, as Forensic and Finbig then goes over the line on the intermediates, a 1:38.8. So times are tumbling, wet weather may be falling less as we head on through here. Light Shock, are you on a lap time? No, you are up on your time. Asthma Frog, looking like he's going quicker. He's 3.4 seconds quicker on his lap. And last time we saw someone go that much quicker on their lap time, they got wet pole. Lamb Royale, I think, has had a crash just before turn 13. That's not ideal. Only yellow flags, thankfully no red flags for this one. Lamb Royale will not be happy about that at all, as we continue watching Asthma Frog as he pops on down through the final 2 corners. The Williams driver heads across the line, and it is P3, and that is a very, very solid lap time for both of the Williams drivers at the moment. But Finbig is that 38.8, which is the one definitely to watch out for. Swain then heading down into turn number 7. There are a few other cars actually who are on a lap time. Stracker, I think, is invalidated, so he will pass over, I suppose, the baton to his teammate, who is heading on down on wet compounder tyres, or is that Inters? I now see on the green car it is intermediate tyres as he heads on through turn 7 into turn 18 and 19 for Light Shock LS16, or Light Shock 16 as he's well known, and across the line it's P3, which is a very, very solid lap time for the Kick Sauber car. Anyone else, possibly a McLaren, which I'm sure isn't going for another lap time, so maybe an Aston Martin. Would that be Finn Evans? It isn't Finn Evans, it's his teammate who throws himself up into P2, which is Phoenix, so it is possibly time to find where that RB of Swain is, as Deathlink, who set himself up into P5, is now down to 12th place. That's not ideal. Swain then rounding the final 2 corners with 4 minutes of the session remaining. Across the lines for Swain, and it's pole by 0.8 of a second on a set of intermediate tyres. This is definitely intermediate tyre weather now. His teammate, yeah, in the background you can see coming back out. I wonder if Swain is going to throw on another set, or if he's pushing. Let's have a look on board. He doesn't have that much ERS to play with, so surely he's just going to throw it to the pits and get going again. Who could be on a lap time? Is that a Red Bull of BXTN? No, it can't. Oh, he's going into the pit lane. He's having a little bit of issues with the pit lane, unfortunately. So Light Shock, I believe, will be coming in again. Where is Light Shock? This is... Yeah, he's invalidated. Phoenix will be the other one behind. Mercedes, maybe Liam Hammond, or... No, it'll be BRT Godwin, the next driver, I think, to set a lap time as he's on an out lap as he heads into turn number 14. Still got plenty of work to do with 3 minutes of qualifying remaining. I suppose it's just time to just quickly thank you the followers of Justina Jacks 1, Chops 47, TBR Racing 28, and yeah, just for their follows earlier on today. As we now see BRT Godwin head down the start-finish straight into turn number 1 for possibly his last qualifying of the session. And Swain goes even quicker. Where has that come from? Swain has just thrown, I think, a further 0.8 of a second on a lap time when I was not expecting that whatsoever. Kimmy throws a 38.6 in invalidation to BRT Godwin. So that'll be... Deathlink possibly on a lap time. Notice Swain. Surely Swain's not going for one more lap. He's yeah, he's dead and buried on fuel, I'm assuming. So it'll be Liam Hammond that is possibly going to set a lap time. Now he is yet to invalid. Asma Frog has retired from the session. So Asma, who is in the Williams, is in the pit lane, I believe. So that's an easy one there. Here is Liam Hammond, though, heading down into the old Singapore Sling area where we saw last season George Russell. That's his name. Should know that. Crash after following. There's Carlos Sainz and all that. Swain going slowly. There's a Ferrari in the background, which I believe is Ben Dyer, who hasn't yet to set after setting early pace, he's yet to set anything quicker than that. But it is good to see the times tumble and tumble and tumble through all this. But Liam Hammond heading on down into the new turn 16. Nice and slow. Phoenix retires from the session. He's going to be no higher than 14th. He wasn't able to get another lap time in. Here comes old Liam Hammond across the final 2 corners now and across the line for the Mercedes driver. It's P6 provisionally for him. And what is next? Is it going to be Ben Dyer across? No, it's not Ben Dyer. It is likely Deathlink, who throws himself a second behind his teammate, but is in second place, which is good for the RB cars at the moment. I think there was a Williams crossing the line just in time to get a lap in. Is that a Red Bull of Harrison? Harrison is invalidated. Is there enough time? Oh, no, it is not. Not if you do that as well. He's crashed out of the session. That's not ideal for Harrison. That is Jellyman Tim there going. And I think maybe Lightshock has finished his lap time as well in the Alpine. Crossing over the line there. There's surely a Ferrari coming across the line too. Ben Dyer needs to... He is up on his lap time. He's slower than his previous lap time. And across the line for Ben Dyer, he splits the 2 RBs, but he's still a little bit of time away from Swain there. And across the line to Finbig, who crosses the line even quicker than Swain. 0.3 of a second for the McLaren driver at the moment, which is a very, very solid lap time. I think that's Stracker just putting himself into P6. And is this Finn Evans then? Crossing the line with the Mercedes behind him as well. Finn Evans across the line, throwing himself P12 provisionally. Godwin, Godwin throws himself up as well. That's Liam Hammond's turn now to go across the final 2 lap times. He is up on his lap time, but it's gonna be quicker. Only quick enough for provisional P8, but then went to P9. Game Man Steph throws himself P4 for the time being. So a lot of 35s propping themselves in. I think that was BXTN that's just gone across the line into P6. And Jellyman Tim then around the corner for the last time. And it didn't actually show me where that was, which isn't ideal. About a very solid lap time in the end. I think, yes, so P9 for the Williams man. But it is a pole position in the McLaren for Finbig. There is also Swain in second place. BRT Godwin in third, fourth to Game Man Steph, fifth to Ben Dyer, sixth to BXTN, Deathlink in seventh, eighth to Kimmy, Jellyman Tim in ninth and 10th, rounding out. The top 10 is Stracker. Then we had Liam Hammond, Phoenix, Harrison, Asmafrog, Lightshock, Finn Evans, Forensic, and then Lam Royale unable to settle that time. It did look like everyone flew onto those inters as soon as they could. Interesting qualifying session, to say the least, here in F1XL for the evening. While we wait for everything to settle down, it's looking like a dry race, which I think will be music to some people's ears. And just try and get things set up and ready for you before this 31 lap race is sorted. Let's see if there is a time frame of gone in the chat. I haven't seen anything just yet, but yeah, interesting qualifying session there. Finbig and Swain, your top two drivers, which very, very solid for both those drivers to start the season with. But while we wait for the drivers to get ready, we'll be back here in the broadcast box very, very shortly. Welcome back to myself as we wait for the lobby to get itself ready and sorted. It is shortly going to be underway here in F1XL for the first round of the season, and we are at Singapore, the Marina Bay Street Circuit, and yeah, pretty solid driving qualifying session for a lot of those guys, and yeah, can't wait to see what they have in store for us on race pace and race day, and how they're going to handle the pressures of it all, really. But there is still a little bit of time waiting for getting going. It is 31 laps here at Singapore, race distance of roughly 153 kilometers. I apologize for that one, and yeah, about 5 kilometers circuit length in total. With the track changes in sector 3 should make it a little bit easier in certain areas to overtake and set yourself up, but never say never, it being a little bit of a train. Hopefully we'll get ourselves ready and sorted very, very shortly, and for the battles for turn 1, and hopefully the guys on track will remember that it isn't 1 at turn 1. If you're interested, it is 74 days until the Singapore Grand Prix in real life, which is quite a little bit of time away. So if you want to win the lottery and get the F1XL crew over there, that would be amazing in itself. But yeah, it is such a testing track for the drivers, and especially in real life, but also in in sim racing as well, especially if you're using the wheel. It does, it's concentration, it's walls right on top of you, and I'm not saying that pad users are any different. They've got a very, very difficult way of keeping things going as well. But hopefully I'll see that countdown timer started soon, as well, news from Division 2. It is Gold Samurai, the Alpine driver, on pole, Kingspin in the Williams P2, McJamie B in P3, Forensic Narwhal in 4, 5th to Joshua, and 6th to Taplin That, 7th to True Cooper, 8th to Hate Jow, Stone Shuffle in 9th, and Newton Killer rounding out there. But we are going to get racing very, very shortly here, because, as you can see there, Finbig pushing himself off the line in quite quick fashion there, and this is going to be very, very interesting to see how this one will pan out here, as Finbig leads us around the formation lap here at F1XL. We will get ourselves fully ready fully shortly. Let's have a look at the tyres people have gone for. Interesting strategy from the Kick Sauber drivers, the old Alfa Romeo team, Straka and Lightshock. Different strategies, but the slower strategy, in inverted commas, is for their lead driver on the qualifying set. So that's an interesting one. Liam Hammond, Phoenix, Harrison and Forensic following suit, while everyone else is gone on to the medium. So about 2/3 of the grid on medium compound tyres, which is going to be very, very interesting. It is a McLaren sandwich, with Lam Royale being in last place and Finbig in first, which is very, very interesting in itself. The two Ferraris having a good show in 4th and 5th respectively. BXTN, supposedly the second tier driver out of him and Harrison. That's been spun around the other way round as well. Devlink in 7th place there, and F1XL Kimi in 8th place, the reserve driver, the free agent driver, I should say, the driver that can't turn up every week, but he will give it his go when he can. He's doing a very good job. For him, currently right now, Jellyman Tim in 9th place is the best of the two for the Williams. Asper Frog, I remember the days when he was, I believe, Division 4, maybe even Division 6. So it's great to see a driver come up through the field like that. Finn Evans in 16th will want to be a little bit quicker than that, and Forensic GFX will hope that he can push himself through the grid a little bit there. It's showing a one-stop strategy for us here tonight. One stop roughly right in the middle. It really does depend on safety cars or anything through like that, but we are waiting. Ooh, that is not good for Swain. He is going to be dropped a little bit behind his grid marker. That, I say a little bit, have a look at that. That is massively behind his grid marker, and that is not ideal for him at all. It's not the best camera angle to start with, but we are on 5 lights here at Singapore. There's a drive-through penalty for Deathlink as well of a Ferrari, which I believe is Gamerman Steph. It's not ideal at all. Finbig will hold surely into turn 1. He does, and there is BRT Godwin trying to go around the outside of Master Swain, and he doesn't get the job done for the time being. Let's get on to positional changes here, but a Deathlink into the wall, that's not ideal. I believe Ben Dyer followed him into it as well. That is a poor start, and Deathlink, I think, is going to go further down. There was definitely damage flying off someone's car in the background. Ben Dyer struggling at the moment to keep Jellyman Tim in there. He did get the jump on Kimi as he went through it, but Gameman Steph and Deathlink are in incredible pressure by getting a drive-through penalty on the first race of the season. Not ideal at all for those two drivers. Godwin then all over the back of Swain and trying to get past, but it's not happening at the moment. BXTN trying to get, well, defend from Ben Dyer. Ben Dyer's found a little bit of pace, but he's also trying to attack Deathlink at the same time, and He goes to the inside as they head on into turn 16. And that is BXTN through Deathling. Deathling's trying to do the switchback on him. It's not going to work. He's popping into the pits, as have we just seen the Ferrari of Game Man Steph. And now BXTN can work a little bit harder and push forward and try and attack the drivers ahead. Look at that there. I think that's just a little bit wide into turn 2 there for Ben Dyer, which could be picking up penalty. Well, warnings for penalties. Penalties are a big thing to possibly pick up here, and I suppose we should really go to the battle for the lead because Swain has managed to get past. He goes defensive as he heads on into turn number 7 there, and he is going to try his best to attack back the RB driver as they head on through. But for the time being, he's going to have to look at the back end of that Visa RB until things have settled down a bit. And BXTN has done a good job. He's gone up 2 places. Jellyman Tim has gone up 3 places. And that is partly down to people making a mistake. And I think we've seen, is this Forensic heading on down? It might have been Forensic who picked up damage, you know, because that's looking like a very, very broken front wing onto a set of softs. I think, unless there's a safety car, that's his race over and done with. Let's go back to the tyre position for these guys. Swain trying to keep ahead of Finbig for the time being. These 3, though, have put a 2-second gap to 4th place man BXTN, which is a cracking job at the moment. That's a very good camera angle of Ben Dyer all over the back of BXTN. And I think maybe into turn 7, we could see an overtake opportunity between the 2 of them. But for the time being, let's see what Swain, can he hold Finbig behind as they head on down the first major DRS straight of the lap. He looks all set and done. What can BXTN do against the Ferrari? It's Red Bull Ferrari. It's now Ferrari Red Bull as they head on into turn 7, into turn 8. And Jellyman 2, Tim, was desperately trying to pick off the pieces there. Godwin can't keep up the pace that the front 2 are currently showing as he's just dropped outside. There's the second mark as it is RB versus McLaren. And Ben Dyer is 3.2 seconds away from BRT Godwin. So it is all go for some of these drivers right now. Swain has definitely got the bit between his teeth, though. He's desperate to try and keep ahead of Finbig for as long as possible, but he doesn't want to waste that ERS that he has to his advantage. Let's see, BRT Godwin. Don't know why I want to call him Ben Godwin, but it could be because Ben Dyer is directly behind him on the timing screen. But Finn Evans and Asthma Frog swapping positions here. Lightshock's had a great start to this Grand Prix. Stracker's still within there as well. It seems a little bit of a DRS hold up from Ben Dyer downwards. Swain, can he hold on to the position? I think that's the question we'll be looking for an answer for, as Lightshock already with a 3-second time penalty, but he's doing what he can with the no line situation. Finbig following Swain into turn 7. He's not going to get anything from it on this occasion. Finbig now has a 3-second time penalty. That is huge when he's trying to keep a catch on Swain there in the battle for the lead of this Grand Prix. BXTN then desperately trying to find a way through, but I think he's made a little mistake as he headed through turn 8, which has allowed a little bit of breathing space for the Ferrari driver a little bit. But this is huge battling at the moment. A little bit more of a mistake there from BXTN as he's struggling with the old Singapore sling, and now has Jellyman Tim for company right behind, a little bit off the apex of the corner. That's not how he would have wanted to take turn 13. That hairpin can make or break your lap time. Jelly takes a look to the inside. It's not happening on this occasion for the Williams driver, and I think BX is possibly looking a little bit more behind than in front at the moment, and Swain putting a little bit more of a gap to him and Finbig. It's still under a second, so Finbig's still got that advantage. As you can see, BRT Godwin 4 seconds up on this group of drivers, but for the time being he's in a bit of no man's land. He's 2.6 seconds behind the battle for the lead as well. Look in the background there. There was your champion of a few seasons, AERT Harrison. I'm just going to call him Harrison because it will be easier for that, but it is looking all good at the moment for Swain, who is leading this Grand Prix. Godwin now 3 seconds behind the leading pack, but Ben Dyer is 4.2 seconds behind. He's not losing too much ground either. Look in the background, Harrison trying to find a way past Strachan. It's not found a way through yet, but Strachan and Harrison, both on those hard compound tyres, write them off at your peril, I think is the best way to describe it. Here, have a look at all this. Very, very close through it all. BXTN doing a good job keeping Jellyman Tim in check, and Finbig now outside of a second. He's just dipped back inside of a second to Swain as they headed into turn 14. But Finbig could lose out big here. Jellyman Tim just maybe trying to keep some fresh air from following. It does happen on this track. It does cost you a little bit if you're in too much air, and too much of the back end of someone. You do pick up the hot air, and you do the turbulent air, I should say, and it damages the engine. Flash, red flash there for BXTN, and up the inside is Jellyman Tim. It's a little bit, they were very close to contact, but Jelly does, I don't want to say concedes the position, does hold off for the time being. BXTN is going to hold this up the inside. I don't know if there's contact, I don't think there is, but BXTN is in trouble because he doesn't have DRS. Kimmy will have DRS as they head on down the main, the first DRS straight. BXTN is desperate around the outside, forcing Kimmy off a little bit. Kimmy's trying to keep that position. It's still side by side by the both of them. This is very tight racing. It's allowed Light Shock back into it. Kimmy's still side by side. There's a yellow flag somewhere, and I think that's meant BXTN has had to concede the position. Is that Deathlink in the wall? I don't think it is. I think it could actually be Harrison, which has made a mistake through somewhere, and I may have been concentrating too much on the battle ahead that I missed that. Let's see, has Harrison picked up any damage? Front wing looks okay, but he's now a little bit off the pace. 4.8 seconds away from Phoenix, who's 1 second away from that trailing pack. I wonder if Liam Hammond, I wouldn't have thought Liam Hammond got any issue through that, but Strachan gets past. No, he doesn't. BXTN holds the inside. They're still battling side by side, those two. And Strachan does eventually make the move on BXTN as they head on down into turn number 1 for the 7th time, sorry. As BXTN tries to find another way, tries to hold on from Light Shock. BXTN may be struggling. I think he's harvesting more, and that is crucial. He's got to stay behind Light Shock. He's got to just cook in behind, use the DRS, and just build up your ERS that way. And that's the only way he's going to be able to get through this one. Jellyman Tim is hunting down Ben Dyer at the moment, but Swain's got a 2.4 second lead at the front of this race. He's got to be careful where he comes out. When he comes into the pit about lap 14-15, with everyone else still battling away as well, he could get caught up, and that's when I think Strachan might come into play. That's where Strachan's advantage will sit. He's doing a very, very good job on those hard compound of tyres at the moment. He's got his teammate behind him. I wonder what he will do through all this. BXTN, unfortunately, down to 4th place. What else can we see going on here? It's not ideal, unfortunately, for Light Shock right now, though, because he's losing ground to his teammate ahead, who is on the slower, inverted commas again, compound tyre, but he's doing a very, very good job of holding things together at the moment. Both kicks out of the cars, doing a good job. Definitely down into 17th place. I think he's made a mistake, and BXTN, I think, has gone into the pits. Let's have a look at the Red Bull driver. Is there a front wing change? There is. He's picked up damage, maybe, through somewhere in that, and that is unfortunate for him because he was doing such a good job. He's put on intermediate tyres, which I don't know about you. I can't see any water, can't see any rain, Interesting. Ben Dyer, I think that's a mistake on his part, unfortunately, or not. I think that's a mistake on the game's part there, unfortunately for BXTN, as Kimi losing ground to Straka as well as Lightshock. The Kick Sauber cars are on an absolute charge right now. This could be something to watch out. And I mean, Kimi has just unleashed the two Kick Sauber cars. It's the 7th place now, Straka and Lightshock respectively. And now looking to see if they can catch up with Jellyman Tim and Ben Dyer, who are just up the road. 3.2 seconds. You know what? I am preferring the camera angles. There are some dodgy ones, but there are some better ones on the broadcast cameras on this game. But let's see anything else. Liam Hammond just outside, hangingly outside the DRS to the car ahead. He's got Finn Evans for company, and Harrison has caught up to the back end of this one. Harrison is going to be frustrated with everything that's going on. Definitely and Game Man Steph with that drive-through penalty. They're the crucial talking points. A mistake, I think, from Harrison. I don't want to say for certain. And then a definite mistake for Game Man Steph. And Deathlink to pick up a drive-through penalty for all this one began. And I think here comes BXTN into the pits. No, it's not. It's Deathlink into the pits on lap 9. Is that a front wing change? See, I'm going to see. See, I don't think we've got any overtaking opportunities. There is what appeared to be a front wing change. Happened on the RB car, and he is now on a set of hards. He's going. It'll be difficult to go to the end of the Grand Prix on them, but he'll do the best he can, and maybe wait for a late safety car to get himself back into this Grand Prix. Back towards the battle for P4. It is Ben Dyer versus Jellyman Tim. The rest of them have just checked out a little bit, though Ben Dyer and Jellyman are keeping that 4-second gap to BRT Godwin ahead. Straka is agonisingly closing the gap to the 2 ahead of him, which is this battle that we're watching for P4. Anything's possible here right now. The only probable thing is Swain is going to have a 5-second gap, which he has got right now. Lamb Royale throwing himself into P12 for the time being. It would be an idea. I think for Phoenix has made a mistake somewhere, which has allowed Harrison through. But let's look at it from Lamb Royale's point of view. I don't think Jellyman is going to get a move done on Ben Dyer anytime soon. It is just chilled for those guys. As I say that, he's gone and got the move done, hasn't he? He has indeed. So those two might actually help each other swap over. 3-second time penalty for Deathlink. He's not enjoying that one, unfortunately. It promised to be so much for Deathlink, and it's not to be, unfortunately, at the moment, as we continue to watch Lamb Royale try and hold off a champion behind him, which is Harrison, AERT Harrison, who's had so much success here in F1XL, and nearly clipping the back end is Lamb Royale of Asmafrog, but it's all good at the moment. Let's see. Anything else? Ben Dyer, I think, is struggling now to Jellyman Tim. Jellyman Tim's decided to put the hammer down a little bit. A penalty to Lamb Royale for exceeding track limits there. Lightshock unable to keep up with his teammate as well. It is such a testament to how strong Straka is at the moment that he is pulling his tier 1 teammate, pulling away from his tier 1 class teammates from the draft. But it could be that it's the other way around. Phoenix then picking up a 3-second time penalty, which is not ideal for him, down in 14th place. Ben Dyer trying his best. There's a yellow flag somewhere. Is that a Mercedes? I wonder if that's Mercedes of Godwin making a bit of a mistake. Lightshock making a bit of a mistake as well, because I think Kimi's caught back up to him. Actually, no, it was Deathlink. Deathlink is now down to 18th place. He's come out of the pits again. What is going on here for Deathlink? It's another set of mediums for him. It's such a unfortunate track to start a season on, because at one mistake you clip the wall and you need to go into the pits, and before you know it, you could be lapped. I think Swain is coming up for an attack on Forensic. It's got to be, because I think Deathlink is behind Finbig. So let's yeah, that's what's thrown me. I thought Deathlink had gone through, and is that Godwin into the pits? It is. He's the first of the front runners to blink onto the mediums. I thought they would wait for another lap or two, maybe lap 14, but Godwin's decided, I want a bit of fresh air. Well, he was in fresh air anyway. I want to see if I can undercut, get himself closer to Finbig, especially with Finbig's 3-second time penalty to his name. Ben Dyer's dropped away a little bit from gaining man Steph. Lightshock still being hounded by Kimi in P6 and 7 respectively, with Liam Hammond just behind. I think that's Kimi going for the move up the inside into turn 7. It is indeed, and Kimi now taking 6 spot away from Lightshock 16, and has Liam Hammond directly behind them, looking to try and do the same thing. I will give Liam Lightshock his due. He is racing without line, so that's an interesting one. I thought the two Aston Martins were trying to do a little bit of a interesting team orders there, let the hard runner through, but it didn't work in the end. I think, where is Harrison in all of this? He is. He's back up into 9th place, just behind Liam Hammond. So the mistake he's made, he's got himself back into that position, but crucially, he is about 5 seconds away from Straka, who didn't. Finbig has pitted, and I suppose, really, it's time to go on board with Godwin and see where he is in all of this. I think he's going to be a bit too far back, but without this without the grandstand area that was here, it's only this little chicane and the final 2 corners for Godwin to traverse before heading on to the start-finish straight. And I'm so glad that was a lag spike moment, because I thought he was careering off. Let's look at it from his point of view. When he turns into turn 1, how can he see that McLaren? He can't. That's going to be a little disheartening. Now through turn 3, will he see a McLaren there? He will see, but will he know it's a McLaren? He probably won't. Lamb Royale pitted as well, by the way, along with Asthma Frog. Let's go on board. Swain had a little bit of time to his name. He has got, I think, Jellyman just a little bit further back from his position. Swain, as he heads on through, there was a driver change there, so I do apologise that I've missed that one. I think it was only friends were dropping maybe behind BXDN. BXDN had pitted 10 laps ago to get damage, but no damage front wing change, but there was no, interestingly, no front wing, no pit stop there for Swain. And I'm just thinking, BXTN went onto a hard set of tyres, so he's had a second pit stop as well. Ben Dyer slowly getting himself back into the swing of things. That could be because he's just gone into the pit lane, and he gained a little bit of time through that. Ben is pushing as far as he can. Swain, I don't want to say he's nearly got a pit stop to Jellyman Tim. It is 20 seconds nearly, though, which is incredible lap time. I think there's front wing damage. Well, there was front wing damage to the Ferrari of Ben Dyer, so he's going to lose a little bit of time. That could be why he has pitted earlier than he may have usually done, and he's going to be a little bit behind. Well, a good 7 seconds of slower pit stop that was, and that is Finn Evans a lot closer to him than he was before. Let's see who could give us a little bit of entertainment. Lightshock and Kimi, with Liam Hammond, Harrison and Phoenix all on the harder compounder tyres behind. Look at Liam Hammond pull to the left-hand side there, keeping his car as cool as possible so he doesn't pick up any derating on the car or on the engine, so he doesn't lose top-end speed. That's not what he wants to do at all, which is very, very good driving through all that. And Straka is catching up to Jellyman Tim I know the tyres are very much in favour of Straka right now, but it's a great piece of bold working from Straka to get this as good as he can, even to a degree where they can both kick cars, can pit and leave enough time in between them. Well, that's not going to happen now, because into the pits comes Light Shock, into the pits comes Swain, out of the pits comes Swain, and he's going to be with Kimi. A little bit of a mistake on the exit there of the pit lane. I think he's just clipped the wall. Thankfully he didn't. Actually, what on earth has gone on here? There's a safety car for what I can only assume is Swain's tap on the exit of the pit lane, which is not ideal whatsoever. I can't even look back. Whew. Goodness me, a little bit of time to relax. Straka will feel slightly hard done by from this. It's going to be a cheap pit stop. Everyone else, though, will be neutralised through all this, I guess. And it will be pretty much a race restart again. And Lamoureux, Asperfrog onto a set of mediums, but they're out towards the back. Ooh, Swain has a bit of work cut out, though, to build that lead back up. But he will have a little bit of a buffer in the likes of Finbig, Godwin, Jellyman and Light Shock. But maybe not Light Shock because of the safety car. I don't know if Finbig and Godwin will be able to get back through onto Straka in time. Swain is going to be slightly annoyed by all of this, I think, after such hard work done by the RB driver. I think Straka is going to be annoyed as well. The big winner possibly is Kimi. Let's see, everyone darting into the pit lane. Swain will retake the lead of this Grand Prix into the pits, then kicks out of the car. He's going through. Let's see how this one will pan out. Out the pits for Straka. He's currently P3, will end up being P4, but that is huge gains, huge gains for Straka R11. I don't think he was expecting that whatsoever. Where is the, I think that's the Mercedes, oh, the Williams, sorry, of Jellyman Tim. Jellyman Tim will be slightly frustrated. Well, round 2 of the race restart, I guess. And Swain is going to have to fend off from this man, Finbig, when everything all comes back together. The accordoning effect has happened. Yeah, so the red safety car here in Singapore leading Swain, Finbig and Godwin around turns 10 to 13 at the moment. And yeah, Finbig would be happy to see the back end of that RB again, but maybe he won't attack as much now. Swain does have the luxury of having 2 lap extra tyres than Finbig and 3 lap extra than Godwin. This man, though, has a little bit of work cut out. He's got to battle his way through, but crucially for him, he'll be able to have the tyre life to attack to begin with. But he's got to make those moves stick. Jellyman Tim and Kimi will be roadblocks to this man Liam Hammond, this man Harrison, and this man Phoenix. Light Shock down to 10th place. That is unfortunate. The safety car came out when it did. Same for Ben Dyer as well, causing them a little bit of problems. But it has meant that this man Liam Royale, Asthma Frog behind him, Gamerman Steph, who had that drive-through penalty at the beginning of the race, Forensic, who's had damage from the beginning of the race, and BXTN, as well as Deathlink, are able to catch up a little bit to the front end of the grid and get themselves back into the race. I'm happy to see that there's been no retirement so far. But that safety car has got to have come out for Swain's tap, unless there was something that I missed. But yeah, Swain. Race pace, he's got to push it. He's got to push hard. He's going to have the tyre life to do it. He's on those hards. Safety car is going to prolong that life as well. But you know, if you push too hard, then the tyre life does struggle because of graining and all that. It's going to be an interesting one. When does he go? Does he go earlier? It's very, very interesting for Swain and the pressures he's going to have to face for it. He could have, I suppose, pitted again onto another set of mediums, but I don't know. I don't know where his head's at with it or what, but this has not been an ideal first round of the season, and we were hoping we weren't going to get a safety. Well, I was hoping we weren't going to get a safety car through this one, but we have, and yeah, lap 17 of 31, no retirements. Let's have a look at where positional changes. It's up 6 places for Straka, up 4 places for Jellyman Tip, up 5 places for both Harrison and Lamb Royale. But big losers, thanks to the start of this Grand Prix, Game Land Steph and Deathlink, and also BXTN, who picked up damage earlier on as well. Let's have a look at the penalty situation. Lamb Royale with 6 and then 3-second penalties for Finbig, Phoenix, Light Shock, Deathlink and Forensic. Let's go back on to tyre life as well. Just looking at the pit stops, BXTN and Deathlink and Forensic all on 3 as well. That's unfortunate and not ideal. But half and half it looks like at the moment for grids on for tyre wear. So this is an interesting one to say the least, and we'll have to wait and see how it will all pan out. I'm hoping the safety car will be in this lap as we wait, as they head round on lap 18 into turn 7. I think Forensic in the Alpine is just heading on up now. So it shouldn't be too much longer for race restart. Swain hoping to keep his tyres as in the optimum temperature as possible behind the safety car. Give a little bit of weave here and there, which he has done for people down this straight in sector 2 between turns 9 and 10. Will follow suit as well, but everyone is back up together, and not ideal, definitely not ideal, but we'll wait and see how it will pan out. It's all red light flashing, harvesting, safety car flashing, as a nice little camera angle there of seeing all the cars through. The safety car is in this lap. So Swain will now become the de facto safety car. He will go as slow as he wants and really make a push for this one as soon as he wants to. Safety car is at turn 17 now, heading around into that little straight before 18. Swain on a set of hard tyres, which have barely been used in anger, if at all, has decided to go relatively early. I don't think he's caught Finbig out. He has caught Finbig off because Godwin is all over the back of him, as is Straka. Jellyman Tim's definitely been caught out, as is Kimmy. Straka goes to the inside, not happening on this occasion as they head on through. Godwin is nearly attacked by Straka as well. Finbig now has got the bit between his teeth. Godwin has to defend valiantly from Straka as they head on through the first sector of the race. Defensive immediately from the Mercedes of Godwin, but it's not stopped Straka. Straka around the outside into P3 for the Kick Sauber car as Finbig desperately trying to find some sort of attack onto Swain. It wasn't happening on this occasion as they head on through into turn 9 now, and down this straight between turns 9 and 10, the part of the track where George Russell had got that damage on the final lap of last season's race in F1 2023 season. But Finbig all over the back of the RB car of Swain at the moment. He's got a little bit more of a mission now. That RB is right in front of him. Big lock up on the brakes for the McLaren driver, and that's not ideal. Lamreal getting past Finn Evans for the battle for P12. What can Finbig do? And he doesn't do anything on this occasion, but Straka is right there. These two don't want to be squabbling for too long. DRS is now enabled. This is a time Finbig has a chance to really attack as they head on down into turn 7. A little kink of, well, from turn 5 to turn 7, there's a little kink of the right. Swain has bombed out of that first chicane, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Let's look at it from Finbig's perspective as they head on down. Here's the kink of turn 6. I don't know if it's going to be enough. You know, he's a bit too far back, and Swain holding on to the lead of this Grand Prix. And there's another safety car. Oh no, wait, it is just just staying out there. That's fine. It's just saying that there's still a safety car out. I only just noticed that as well. But if the racing is all that matters, Finbig 0.6 of a second behind Swain as they head on into turn number 13. Let's look at it from Straka's perspective. He's desperately trying to find a way through as well. These medium compound tyres are the ones he wants to go on, wants to be on. As they head into turn 14, he's been doing on this occasion, and it is still very close here. And Harrison can't find a way past Liam Hammond. Let's look at this battle, because Harrison, historically incredibly quick. He still is incredibly quick. However, it's just not falling for him at the moment. Who has the fastest lap? It is Monster Swain with a 129.9, which is great for him. Swain and Finbig found a little bit of pace, pulling away a little bit from Straka through this early stages of lap 21 as they head on down through now turn 5 and going down this first major straight of the lap as Finbig's DRS wide open, but he just can't find a way past the RB of Swain. He knows the race paces with the RB. Harrison surely getting past on this occasion. He has, and Lightshock and Kimi fighting away, and Lightshock I think going off the track. Asma Frog getting a 3-second time penalty in the Ferrari of Ben Dyer attacking Lightshock on his way through. Let's look at it from the Ferrari's point of view. It's a side by side. That's a very, very, very respective move from the both of them there as BXTN desperately trying to find a way. Surely not Lightshock's going to make it too wide through the old Singapore sling. He thinks the side's better of it, and he will attack another day. It is a VSC, and I think that's for Finn Evans. Something's happened for the Aston Martin driver. He's got no front wing, VSC out, and that's not ideal at all for Aston Martin's, or Finn Evans' Aston Martin career to start with, as the VSC is out. And this is another good point, or another good period for Swain to really try and find a way out of the DRS of Finbig, as hopefully we'll see Finn Evans pop himself into the pit lane. We are back driving underway again, and that's a very, very good getaway from Swain. Absolutely perfect. Moving into the pits for the Aston Martin driver. He's unable to get himself in there, but I think we are going to see our first retirement of the day, which is unfortunate for Finn Evans. And then down, battling away again. I think this is now Straka's chance. He's got the ability now to attack Finbig without Finbig's having DRS of the driver ahead. This could be Straka's chance to get into a P2 position here. It is agonisingly close to being outside the DRS though, so he's got to be careful with that. Jellyman Tim in 5th place, back up fighting away, but he has got Harrison for company behind, and that is something you don't want at any stage of the race, because you know exactly how good Harrison is going to be. Into turns 14 we go then for Straka, who's trying to keep up with Finbig ahead. He's got to use the best of those tyres, and he's got to use them sooner rather than later. There is red light flashing from Finbig ahead, so he's got to be harvesting some energy through the lap, but he has now dropped outside of there into the pits. Is that Finbig into the pits? It is indeed. What is going on here? Finbig has clearly got some damage, which is immense at this stage in the race. Let's have a look at it. Is there front wing damage? Oh no, it's a drive-through. Sorry, I thought it was Finn Evans that got the drive-through penalty. It was Finbig that got the drive-through drive-through penalty, sorry. And Finbig now down to 17th place. And Straka, with a 2.5 second gap to Swain ahead, has got some company behind. Phoenix getting past Liam Hammond as well. Phoenix, we know how good he's been in the past as well. Game around Steph finding a way through Lam Real and Ben Dyer, and Ben Dyer just ahead of him now. The Ferraris are in 10th and 11th place now, and I wonder if Ben Dyer will look at the tyre situation and go, you know what, Steph, go for it, try and find a way past Light Shock and leave a little bit of a gap for me to squeeze on through as well. Steph, previous championship rivals, has been touted many times as a main challenger for this man in 5th place currently, who is battling heart and soul with a 3-second time penalty to his name, with Phoenix 2.1 seconds down the road, who I believe is a 3-second time penalty anyway, so I don't think it matters too much. But that is insane. Insanely unlucky. Finbig desperately trying to find a way back into this as well. 9.3 seconds behind. He's going to be heartbroken. He's going to be gutted that none of this has come to fruition for him. He's probably been the man that really has deserved second place, because Swain has been insane as well. Has Swain picked up a penalty that I've missed? No, Swain's picked up a drive-through penalty as well. What have I missed? How have I missed this? Swain is... We're looking at a new de facto race leader right here when Swain pops into the pits this lap. Oh, goodness me. I can't believe I have been this blind to see that. Swain is going to be absolutely fuming. He's 4 seconds quicker. He's, well, proves the point you don't have to be the fastest man to win a race. Straka is channeling his inner George Russell right now. Lightshot picks up a 3-second time penalty to his name. Where's Swain going to come out in all this? Straka, keep it clean and you've won this race, my friend, I think is the message being sent to the Kick Sauber driver. Kick Sauber. Yeah, Kick Sauber driver. But Harrison there in 5th place. Jellyman in 4th. They were all going to do things to try and stop it from happening for Straka. What a first race of the season that will be. Finbig is catching Frenzik ahead. Swain into the pits for his drive-through penalty. So let's have a look at it from his point of view as he is coming down this lonely pit straight when you're on the left-hand side of it all. That's definitely been given the all clear to go. Try not to hit the wall this time, Swain, because I still believe that was the reason why the drive-through penalty, the safety car came out initially. To the lead of this Grand Prix, and for the first time we are seeing a Kick Sauber car head on down in the lead for proper, on merit, for this one. Down into turn number 10 now, followed closely by BRT Godwin, who's got a great chance of winning this Grand Prix, as has Jellyman behind. Phoenix is trying to get back into the swing of things, but he's 1.6 seconds off. I don't think he's going to be able to catch Harrison. It's a four-way battle for the lead right now, but Harrison has a 3-second time penalty to his name. Swain is 4.2 seconds away from Forensic in 15th place. Points are going to be difficult for him now, especially as at the top, front of that train is Asperfrog, and he's 2.4 seconds away from that. We're on lap 25 of 31, and Finn Evans is the driver that we've lost here today. Unfortunately, he crashed in at turn 10, I'm not 100% sure the details of that one, but I'm sure it will come out to us eventually. But at the moment, the leader of of the Singapore Grand Prix is Stracker R11. His teammate Lightshock is in 8th place there. There are penalties coming thick and fast. Let's have a remind ourselves of this one. And as I've spoken Lightshock's name, he's now up to 9th place. He's doing such a good job with no line for the first time in his league racing history. But it's just a struggle right now for him. Let's see if I can see any changes or issues in the Div 2 race that I can bring you. Gold Samurai has retired through that session. I can tell you that much. As has Chobon and Hake Jiao, and the leader of the race is Joshua 22. That's your information to be kept up with in Division 2, while Division 1 we have got Stracker leading the Grand Prix with BRT Godwin heading on down for the battle for the lead of this Grand Prix. Lap 26 and 31, and it is all to play for. And oh my goodness me, that is Jellyman Tim. I don't think he's got touched. I think that was just an over. Maybe, I don't want to say overpowered or just power down too soon. But that is Jellyman Tim into the wall and with no front wing. Let's have a look at our leaders. Get penalties away. How many people flow into the pits? Every single one of them, it's looking like they're going into the pits for a fresh set of rubber. We've seen Swain do major things in the past. We're going to see Swain and Lamb Royale do something major again. Right. These men that have stayed out are absolutely insane. Let's see what they can do. It's brought Finn Big back into it. It's brought Jellyman back into it. But he's gone on to a set of mediums at 27 of 31. This is going to be very, 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 very interesting. Asmafrog in 17th there. Anyone's game for points right now. Lamb Royale might be doing this as more of a helping job for his teammate, possibly. We're not 100% sure, but while it all kicks off, we will wait and see. I don't know what to say at this point. It's been very subdued at most points, and you know what, Swain has probably deserved to win the race by pure pace alone, but the man in 3rd place has had an absolute incredible race and also deserves something as well. Finbig's had some great moments, but let's give you a little bit of action what's happening in Division 2 right now. There's Joshua that leads from Tackling Matt and Newton Killer, Stone Shuffle, Richie M, McJamie B, Forensic Now, Find the Pass, Mod Squids, Doc KT, KV, True Cooper, Kingspan and Rock Eskimo rounding out the next 10 drivers, with Chubon, Gold Samurai and 8 Jewel retired from the session. And if there's anything I can catch up from Div 3, I think Mr. Tazo's leading. Is Mr. Tazo winning with Beastie and Leonardo in 3rd. They're all finishing on hard compound of tyres. Can I get any information from Div 4? You know what, I can, but it's not going to be the top end of the grid. It is going to be Caesar in 5th, Drizzy in 6th, 7th to Arnie, Storm in 8th, and then Norris in 9th place, with Monty and Kieran 10th and 11th respectively there. Back to our race, because this is what we're all really about right now. It's Lamb Royale who is leading behind the safety car. The safety car is going to be in at the end of the next lap. Jellyman and Asma have gone back into the pits for another for sets of soft tyres because they weren't on them. I think Swain has gambled that people will be battling so hard behind that he should be able to build a sort of gap ahead. But imagery of, I guess, Abu Dhabi 2021 is just stuck in my head right now. When it's that significant tyre difference, it's going to be difficult to hold on for. We'll wait and see how it will all pan out, and hope to for them. Let's hope for them that they were able to keep ahead, keep going strong, I guess is the best way forward right now. Swain is, well, got a lot of hard work ahead of him. Lam Royale has a lot of hard work ahead of him. We're going to have 3 laps of racing, I believe, lap 29, 30 and 31, as a safety car is in this lap. Lam Royale is not slowing down half as much as Swain did, which is an interesting one because the safety car is yet to come into the pits. Look at it from Swain's point of view. When has Lam Royale decided to go? He's gone, and he's gone to the... No, he hasn't. He's stayed really, really slow for a very long period of time. That's not helped Swain. That's not helped anyone. Swain's can't get past as they head into turn 1, and all of a sudden, it's just one big snake all the way down to Oscar Frog in 17th place. And, oh, goodness me, I think Swain and Straka nearly collided there. Godwin has a real good chance of taking a maiden season 24 victory. Swain is under a massive amount of pressure here. It goes to the inside. Godwin's there as well. Straka's tried going around the outside of Swain, but it's not going to happen. Straka and Godwin, though, side by side as they head into turn 8. They're still side by side. Godwin gets the move done, and that is Godwin in P3, and with a real good chance of taking victory of this Grand Prix halfway through lap 29. The penultimate lap is almost there, and Swain is doing his best job of becoming a roadblock. But Lam Royale is there as well. Harrison all over the back of Straka. I think there has been some further movements. I think there's Phoenix gone further down the order a little bit. Now Kimi into P6, and a lot of pressure on right now for these guys, as Swain has been passed surely by Godwin. I think so, but as they head into turn 17, Swain's going to keep his car in there as best he can, but I think Godwin's going to win out on this one as they head into turn 18. Swain is now behind Godwin. Godwin's on the charge for a maiden season 24 victory. I know we're the first race of the season, but Straka turns to the inside, but thinks better of it. Swain nearly outbreaks himself into the back of Godwin, which is not going to help him through the rest of the first the complex of turns 2, 3 and 4. And he's all out of shape, unfortunately. Down, DRS now open. Look at it from Straka's point of view. He can't seem to catch up. Swain is going for Lam Royale, surely not. He goes to the inside. Does he think better of it? He's got the kind of angle, but it's not the perfect angle. And that is Swain having to hold behind. And this man, Godwin, now has 0.8 of a second clear on Lam Royale, and that is absolutely insane. Swain having to defend tooth and nail from Straka behind. Harrison's getting involved as well. Jellyman Tim is up into P12. That's great battling from the Williams driver. One of only 5 drivers without penalties to their name this weekend, which is great to see. Heading on down. Swain looking to the outside, which is a good move if he can get it done. Lam Royale's not giving him any sense of room at all. I think it's point... Oh, goodness me. That's a big incident. Big incident. And I think... I'm not sure who's caused that. And I wouldn't want to be anyone involved in it. But that is going to be absolutely heartbreaking for some of those drivers involved. Kimi, though, up into P3. If he can keep this up, he's going to get P2 in this one. Straka's retired from the race, I think. Yeah, he has. Forensics picked up a penalty as well. Swain, I think, keeping on at the end of the race with possibly no front wing. How has he not got... Wow, okay, interesting. But I think that's Lam Royale just being... I'm not 100% sure. But Swain was spun around there, and that is not ideal. We'll keep going, though, because that's our job too. And BRT Godwin, he's being caught by Harrison, but I don't think he minds because he's not got a penalty to his name. He's just going to drive and make sure he gets to the finish of this Grand Prix because that's all he can do. Down the, I suppose, second to last straight, you could call it, into turn 14. Nice and steady for BRT Godwin, heading on down for Godwin now into turn 16 and 17. It's not been the most reliable of races, I suppose, but my goodness me, for a first race victory in season 24, Harrison gets a fastest lap, but it's all about Godwin. Kimi will come home in second place. In third is Harrison. Game man Steph comes home in fourth in the end. Liam Hammond in fifth. Sixth to Jellyman. Seventh to Phoenix. And I will have to go through the rest of the order momentarily. And I would not like to be the stewards at the end of this one. There's a little bit of work for them to do. Harrison, driver of the day from the game. Yeah, he definitely came through the field a little bit, didn't he? But it's an interesting one. None the less. Waiting for any sort of messages in the chat to see what was said, what happened. I would love to know, and unfortunately not given the best of angles. Only such thing I saw was into the wall. Yeah, this 19 lap race, definitely an interesting one to say the least, as we get some champagne for those guys now. But here is the rundown on the final order here. It is BRT Godwin with victory, with Kimi in second place. Harrison in third, with Game Man Steph in fourth place. In fifth place was Liam Hammond with Jellyman Tim in sixth. Seventh go to Phoenix with Finbig in eighth. Ninth to BXTN, and Swain still somehow managing to claim points. Lam Royale, Forensic, Lightshock, Asthmafrog and Deathlink. Ben Dyer rounding out the next six cars, with Straka and Finn Evans retiring from the session. Well then, that was round one of F1XL Season 24 Division 1, and my goodness me, there is definitely some interesting discussions to come from the end of that one. Some interesting points, definitely. Drive-through penalties massively cost the first safety car, massively cost some of these drivers tonight, and well, there you have it, really. A race of what could have been. It's too many variables for some of these drivers. But, yeah, I don't really have answers. And Finbig, well, what a way of getting himself back into the points after that drive-through penalty. Swain, the same, doing a very alternate strategy. But, yeah, in the end, all down to good old mental racing, I guess, is the best way to describe it. It's good to be back. Commentary in Division 1 of F1XL. And I'm just trying, off the top of my head, remember what round 2 is. So if you give me a moment, I'll be able to give you a list of the rest of the season, because, well, I'm kind of like that. No, it's going to be an interesting one nonetheless. It's Texas next in America. Then we got China, which involves a sprint race. Then there's Baku, round 4. Round 5 is Monza, the first of the Italian tracks on the circuit for us. Then Brazil, Netherlands, Japan, and then Las Vegas has a sprint race to it. Then round 10, our midway point, sees Qatar. Then round 11 is Britain, Canada, then Hungary. Abu Dhabi is round 14 with another sprint involved in that one. Austria is round 15. Then it's Bahrain, Saudi Arabia. Then the other Italian track of Imola, with Belgium as a sprint race at round 19. Then we go to Mexico, and then rounding out the season at Miami. But for us, for now, thank you so much for watching. It's been a hell of a race, and we should have cameras back next week. But yeah, it is just one of those things. And wow, take it away, Josh Godwin, for taking your first race victory of season 24.